What's up everybody, it's Izzy, and what I want to do in this video is give you an informal review of The Bridge by Jordan Feigenbaum of Barbell Medicine. He's a really strong guy, really smart guy. I highly recommend you check out his website, and if you want to see the program, I will put a link in the description box. Now the reason why I'm not doing a more detailed breakdown here is because this program was not written for powerlifters and it's not intended for powerlifters. So if I was to break it apart, you know, set by set, exercise by exercise, talking about why it's not appropriate for powerlifting, it's just, that makes absolutely no sense. It'd be like me taking a spoon and explaining why it's not as, good as a fork in certain situations. It's like, duh, it wasn't made for that. So what I do want to do is take a look at broader applications that I think you can take away from this program and the philosophies behind it and how it transitions from the starting strength linear progression program and apply it to training in general. So the first thing about this program is that, again, this program was written and intended for people who had just finished the starting strength linear progression program. So what it attempts to do is fix some of the biggest problems with that programming philosophy. So the first thing that it does is it brings in RPEs. And as you guys all know, I'm a big fan of RPEs. All my programs use RPEs, every single one. However, there are no RPEs whatsoever in the starting strength linear progression program. You're not even encouraged to record them or try to figure them out, and it's a huge buy-in problem for these people because Ripeto's philosophy of programming is that you grind out sets of 5-rep maxes until either your will breaks or your body breaks, and then you reset and you do it again. And it's just, in the long run, it's not only not a great way to train, but it encourages people to think that RPE is bullshit, and then how you feel is a lie, all that type of stuff. So it's weird for a lot of people to go from starting strength linear progression program to the bridge, and there's a huge buy-in problem, and they don't think RPE makes sense, they don't think RPE is possible, so right away there's a weird mismatch of styles there. The second one is that it brings in a ton of exercise variety, which you're going to do in any intermediate style programming. But again, with the starting strength linear progression program, there is zero variety. You do 5 exercises, nothing else ever. And now this program brings in multiple squat variations, multiple deadlift variations, things that people have never ever done. So on top of this intimidating new thing of RPE, there's all these intimidating new exercises as well. People look at it, they get overwhelmed, and they can't achieve buy-in. They don't think that the programming is optimal. It's just too different from the starting strength linear progression program. Another thing that it does, it's probably a little more easy to accept, is that it adds conditioning. And this is the single biggest problem with the starting strength programs, is that they do not build work capacity for the future. So what we know about long-term progress is that muscle hypertrophy is the primary driver. And this is very simply because you can only improve your neural efficiency so much, you can only make so many technical improvements, and you can only get so much better at using your equipment. So in the long run, you have to build bigger muscles so that you can generate more force. Now, with the SS programs, what ends up happening is that they actually decrease volume from phase to phase in order to help make fatigue management more viable. So if you consider like the Novice program, right? The advanced Novice program in starting strength, you're going to do a hard 3x5 on Monday. You're going to do a light day on Wednesday of 2x5 or 3x5. And then on Friday, you'll do a 3x5. Well, when you get to the first stage of the starting strength intermediate program, which is the Texas method, you do a 5x5 on Monday, you do the same light day, and then you do a 1x5 on Friday. So all that's really been done is just a manipulation of fatigue management. No volume increases have been added here, really, for the most part. Now, because the volume never increases with these programs, because you do no cardio, you do no interval training, you do nothing, your work capacity never gets built. And so over time, you can't keep relying on fatigue management manipulations to get stronger. You have to get bigger. In order to get bigger, you have to continually add volume. But the problem is that when you take somebody who's never done anything to build their work capacity, whether that's just simply adding more volume slowly over time, or building an aerobic base, or just anything to help with work capacity, they can't recover from the higher volume programs. So they get stuck on the Texas method, and they try, one of these higher volume programs, and they can't recover. It just buries them. And the problem with this is that in order for them to fix this now, they're going to have to spend several months just building their work capacity with lighter weights and higher volumes and doing cardio, and it's going to set them back. So the biggest problem with the bridge is that it assumes that you should have done the starting strength linear progression program as a novice, and I don't think that you should. That is the biggest problem with the bridge. The bridge is very smart, it's well designed, and it would work extremely well as an intro block to RTS style programming, as I've already said. However, for somebody who just finished the starting strength linear progression program, man, they're gonna have a lot. Good luck. That's kind of what there's just so many problems with that program. So really, the main takeaway that I would give you from this video is don't do the starting strength linear progression program if your goal is anything besides, general strength. Because if you're never really intending to get into any kind of competitive lifting, then fine. You don't really need to continue to build your work capacity over time, because you're not even trying to one day become an advanced lifter. You're just trying to build like a general strength base for a quality of life or another sport or whatever it is. Fine. However, if you want to be a competitive lifter in some respect someday, you need to be paying attention, even in the novice phase, to more advanced concepts so that you're prepared when they come your way. It always surprises people when they ask me, which novice program they should do or which intermediate program they should do, and I say you should do the PowerliftingToWin novice or intermediate programs. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like these programs address problems that are present in these other linear progression models and prepare you for optimal programming in the intermediate phase. Like, just for example, if we take the criticisms I've talked about here about the starting strength novice program, RPEs. You're working with RPEs from day one in the PowerliftingToWin novice programs. Day one. So you not only have experience with rating them for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, however long that it is, but also you can fail reps, and when you fail reps, you get a better sense of what your true RPE is, or you accidentally hit RPE 10 sets sometimes. This also helps you learn more quickly how to use RPEs. So when you see them in an intermediate program, it's like, oh, it's not some overwhelming Frankenstein-looking mathematical scribble that you don't understand. The second thing is the GPP work. If you look at the new PowerliftingToWin novice and intermediate programs and ProgrammingToWin 2, you will see that there is cardio and there is high-intensity interval training basically from day one, and it actually increases to twice a week once you get to the second phase of the novice programming. And Jordan's program also has this, twice a week cardio or conditioning. And the reason why we've got this in our programs is because it helps build your work capacity so that as you get into the future, and I'm repetitive to drive home the point here, you will have the ability to recover from these higher volumes necessary that are necessary to keep building muscle. Okay, and if you don't build up your work capacity from day one, you will try to do these programs and you won't be able to recover, and you just think that they won't work. So, the big takeaway that I want you guys to have from this video is that while I think the Bridge is a really solid program, there is one fatal assumption that is made with the Bridge, and it's that somebody should do the starting strength linear progression program. If you are a competitive lifter, you've probably already seen my review on the program and you know why I don't think it's a good program. But I've added some other reasons in this video that I hope you can take away that are applicable to your training. So, the things about building work capacity, making sure that you understand RPEs, having at least some exercise variety, even in the middle to late stages of your novice training, so that when you become an intermediate and there's way more variety, exercises that you've never done before, you're not overwhelmed or scared. When you see RPEs, you know what they mean, you already know how to rate them fairly well, so that's not going to throw off your program. You're not going to spend months second guessing all of your RPEs. And the third thing is making sure that that work capacity is being built so that when you become an intermediate trainee and you get hit with these higher volume programs, you're still able to recover, you're able to build new muscle, and you can keep progressing in the long run. Anyways, that's all I have to say about the Bridge. Again, if you guys want to check out a copy of it, I will put a link in the description box. As always, my friends, good luck with your training and have a nice day.